Hey, it's Luke Catton. And once again, it's been a couple weeks since my last video, so I apologize for that for those of you who care. Um, there was, I'm always fascinated when I come across concepts that are new to me, or at least an idea, that is new to me, but I've kind of always had for a while an inclination of something, and then I see that someone has named it or given it a particular strategy or some kind of acronym or whatever, right? And one of them just hit the other day, which is called the Blue Ocean Strategy, and an updated book called the Blue Ocean Shift. And it's interesting because it really describes exactly what we're doing in some of the things that we're involved in, certainly in the recovery field. In that the idea is that there's basically blue ocean and a red ocean, and the red ocean is where most people are in a particular business or industry or field, and that's where a lot of people are doing the same things, right? And they're fighting over what's there, and so there's a lot of blood in the water, if you will, and that's what's making it red, right? Because everybody's fighting over the same thing. And meanwhile, if you look to go outside of the typical um, routine actions or the same things that other people are doing, and you become a pioneer and do something different and do something new, then you're getting away from that and you're getting out into where there's open water that's blue and untouched. And there's so much of that for me hit an instant, like, aha, this is exactly what it is that the theory behind what it is that we're trying to do, in that not following the same path as everyone else. That there's a need for all of it, of course, that there's a need for much of the same things but different choices, and then there's a need for things that are also vastly different for people who want to go in this direction. And in business or in companies and industry and things like that, people who are sort of first to market, sort of, if you will, of a particular type of service or product or in this blue ocean, they have sort of a finite period of time where other people go, there's something to that. And then they then start to do similar things, and eventually that could potentially become a red ocean in itself. But the risk that's involved and the belief in what it is that you're doing can make that scary sometimes, going out into these blue waters. And I know that we experience that certainly sometimes with some of the things that we're doing, charting new paths or new territories. And uh, sometimes it's not just the risk. Sometimes there's like pushback from different areas and different people, and go, but this is the way it's always been done. I think I saw a meme recently that talked about some of those dangerous words in business are, but this is how it's always been done. And I think that's so true in so many ways as well. And when we look at um, being able to do something different, for example, with centered recovery programs, and also in its own way, advanced treatment centers, and through some other things that I'm working on that are, you know, being willing to stand up against, like, if everything is going in this current and everything's going this way, and then you have this one thing or one person or one group that's willing to go, well, I'm going to do this instead. Then at first, yes, there's all this pressure to move down, but once it develops that path and that current just goes around it, that it makes it so much stronger, and then more people can line up behind that, and people are buying into that, and they see that there's something to that, and it can slow down those currents in the other direction and become stronger. And really, that's what I see happening in, certainly in the behavioral health field as well, is that people don't necessarily have to have a lifelong label that they live, that they're stuck with. They can change. They can put things behind them. Maybe not everyone, but I think it's applicable to probably most people out there. They don't have to be labeled as an addict, for example. They might have a time in their life where they're struggling, and here's something that can help them to move beyond that. And anyways, that's really all I want to say, is that I ordered the book Blue Ocean Shift. That's the second of the two, so if I need to read the first one, then I will. But I'm excited to read it, and from everything that I've seen so far, it looks like it's describing exactly what it is that we're doing. So if you have some idea that you feel strongly in, and that you see it getting results, either in product or service or concept or whatever else, and you're getting some pushback in other areas, or you're getting people who are doubting you or anything like that, keep in mind there's there's a good reason that those who are honestly truly the most successful in some realms are first considered crazy, right? Because they dared to think against against the norms. So if that's what you're doing, good luck, and I wish you well. And until next time, this is Lucas Catton. You can go to lucascatton.com. I'd love to hear from you. Reach out, comment on the video, hit me up on LinkedIn, or anything like that. Thanks again. See you. Bye.